Welcome to a new video. In this video, we will solve a tricky SQL interview question. The question is, write a query to calculate the percentage of result using the best of 5 rules. That is, you must take the top 5 grade for each student and calculate the percentage. Now let us go through the table schema and the expected output. So here is a table which I have created. The table is called exam. Execute this and we have a table which has got id and different subject: English, maths, science, geography, history and Sanskrit. Now the id is the student id corresponding to each student, and the value corresponds to the mark the particular student has gained for each subject. Now in the question it's given that you must take the top 5 grade for each student and calculate the percentage. Now I have created an expected output table in Excel. Let us see that as well. So here is the expected output table. Here is the same table with an additional column. So here is a new column which is created called as percentage. But when we analyze the input table, we can see that for student ID 1, the top 5 mark corresponds to maths, science, geography, history and Sanskrit. Now coming to the student ID 3, we can see that the top 5 mark corresponds to English, Science, Geography, History and Sanskrit. And coming to ID 4, we can see that for every subject, that particular student got 84. So any of the 5 record we can take. Now coming to ID 5, we can see that the student got top 5 mark for English, Maths, then Geography, History and Sanskrit. So dynamically, we have to switch between each subject where the mark for a particular student belongs to the top 5 and we have to calculate the percentage. Now let us go back to SSMS and see how we can write query for the same. We will be doing multiple transformations in this video, so be careful so that you can learn a lot of technique through this session. Now we will start with a select clause. Select. Now the columns which we require are ID, English, Maths, Science, Geography, History and Sanskrit. So we will write a select star from the exam table. Now the first transformation that we are going to do here is the unpivot transformation. So we will consider the first query as a base table, base underscore table. Now we are going to make use of the unpivot function. Unpivot, open and close parenthesis, and inside the parenthesis we will specify the new columns that should be added. The first column that I am going to name is the marks column. So in the marks column all the values will be specified. Now we will specify the second column in which we have to specify the value corresponding to each column that we are going to unpivot. So in that column the values will be English, Maths, Science, Geography, History and Sanskrit. Those are the 6 subjects. So marks for subjects in, now open and close parenthesis, and inside the parenthesis we have to specify the column names which we are going to unpivot. So here it will be English, then the second column will be Max, then the third column is Science, then we have Geography, then we have History, and finally we have a column which is called Sanskrit. Now we have the unpivot function. We will give an alias name for the unpivot function also. So we will give the name as result. Now we will write a select star from the entire query which we wrote, starting from the base table, including the unpivot function and the result table. So execute this and we will get a table where we have the unpivoted result. Now we can see that we have an ID column. ID corresponds to ID with respect to each student, and we have a new column which is created based on the value from the exam table, and we have another column which is created called the subjects column, which consists of the column headers in the exam table. So we have English, Maths, Science, Geography and History plus Sanskrit. So these are the 6 values which we gave for the subject in the unpivot function. So all this value will be populated in the subject column. Now instead of star, we will specify the column names. So at a later stage, it will be easy for us to identify and read the query. So the second column will be subjects and the third column will be marks. Execute this and we will get the same result. Yeah, we have the same result. Now what we are going to do here is we will place this entire query inside a CTE. So with results as, so the CTE name is results, open and close parenthesis, and the entire query is placed inside CTE results. Now we are going to write a window function on the result that we have obtained now. So select from results table. Now star comma, we are going to make use of function called row number. Row number, open and close parenthesis. Now over, open and close parenthesis, and the partition will be based on ID. That is, for each student ID, we are going to create a partition. Partition by ID, and order by should be based on the marks column, which should be in descending order. Order by marks in descending order. And this is the window function that we are going to use here, and the column will be named as rank marks. So this is the new column name. Now execute this and we will get a new column along with the result that we have obtained. Now we can see that an additional column is created called rank underscore mark. So for each student, we are ranking the mark based on the mark that particular student has obtained. Now we are going to make use of this result for further analysis. So we will place the second query inside a subquery, a CTE, rank underscore CTE. So we will name the CTE as rank underscore CTE. We will place this query inside the second CTE. Now we are going to write a where clause on the result that we have obtained. That is select star from rank underscore CTE. Now we will write the where clause where rank should be less than or equal to 5. Rank underscore marks should be less than or equal to 5, so that we will get the top 5 mark for each student. So execute this and we will get a result where we have only rank starting from 1 to 5, so that for each student we will get the top 5 mark with respect to that particular student. Now we have the result. Now in the same query we can find the percentage mark for each student with respect to top 5 mark that particular student has earned. Now for that, instead of star, we will make use of ID as the first column. Now we will make use of the sum function, sum open and close parenthesis, and we will use the marks column, and this will be the total marks as total marks, total underscore marks. Now we will write expression for a new column as well, which will give us the percentage. So that is sum of marks divided by the total mark. That is, we have 5 subject, so the total mark will be 500, which when multiplied with 100 will give us the percentage. Also make sure that the numerator should be multiplied by 1.0 so that it is converted to float. 1.0. Also place the expression within the right parenthesis. So at a later stage when we read the query, for us to analyze the query, it will be very easy as percentage marks. So this is the new expression that we are writing for the particular result that we have obtained using previous queries. So we have two new column, which is sum of mark and the percentage mark calculated. Also the same result can be obtained using a simple function, which is the average function, that will also give us the same result. So that function can also be used to calculate the percentage, but here we are using the sum function and dividing the total mark by 500 and multiplying it with 100 to get the percentage. That is also fine. And here we will write a group by clause, group by ID. Now execute this and we will get result where we have ID column along with two other column, which is total mark and percentage mark. So these are the two new column which we have created. But in the expected output, we can see that we require all the input columns along with the percentage column. So what we will do here is we will place this query also inside a CTE. So we will name the CTE as percentage underscore CTE, open and close parenthesis, and now we will write a select star from the percentage CTE, percentage underscore CTE, and we will give an alias name as P. Now we will do a left join. Either left join or inner join will give us result here, or giving a simple join will also give us result here. Now we will write the second table, which is the input table. So the input table was exam. So that was the input table or the first table that we started using. So here is the table, that is exam table, which has all the columns which we require in the expected output. So that is the exam table. We'll give an alias name as E. Now we will give the join condition, that is P dot id equal E dot id, which will give us the result with some additional column, we will modify the star to get the exact same result. But now we will execute this and see what is the result we are getting. So we have an ID which is taken from the percentage CTE, an ID which is taken from the exam table. Now we have total mark, percentage mark, and all the columns which we are looking for. That is the individual subject mark. But in the final result, we require only ID. That is, we require all the columns from exam table. So we will write E dot star, comma. Now we require P dot percentage marks. So this is the percentage marks. Now execute this and we will have the exact same result that we were looking to obtain. Execute this and we have the ID column, that is the student ID, along with 6 columns which are the particular subject, and the value corresponds to mark. And here is the percentage mark that we have obtained for each student, considering the top 5 mark obtained by that particular student. So this is one method of solving the question. So here we have mainly used 3 techniques to solve the question. The first was using the unpivot function. Then coming down, we made use of a window function, which is the row number function. And again, and if you like this video, subscribe for more. Thank you.